You pay a lot of money for your data scientists. What is the best way to make sure that they are absolutely successful? There are a few things that you can do to increase the odds that you're going to get value. The most important thing from my experience is to give a strong business sponsor to work with. If the data scientist is working down in the dungeon, cranking math and so on, and they don't have strong communication and strong relationship with a business sponsor who wants that outcome to drive business decision, it's not going to be successful. Data science is not a math project. Data science is a business project, and you have to have the right business sponsor partner with the data science in order to be successful. The next most important thing is the data. There should be nothing in between the data scientist and the data. It's a big problem if you don't have free access to data. And the problem usually has the name DBA. The database administrators build this data warehouse, and then they stand in front of it like a castle guard and say, the answer is no. I know you data scientists, you're going to suck up all my resources, take all my IOs and all my CPU. No. This is not how you're going to get value from your data scientists. Yes, data scientists do consume a lot of resources because they create a lot of value. We need to allocate the resources for them. And in fact, I would argue that we should give the data scientists the ability to provision their own resources, their own data labs, if you will, and they can bring the data into the data lab. They can access it virtually, they can access it physically, and they do their feature engineering, they do their training, and they should not be competing with production workloads. And luckily in the cloud, this gets a lot easier. In the cloud, we can allocate resources in demand, we can use those resources, we're done, we deallocate them, and the cost goes away. Perfect. This is exactly what you want to support your data scientists. But the key is to give data scientists access to the data product in your data warehouses and data marts, but also the raw data in your data lakes. The data scientists don't want to wait for all the data to be transformed into data product. They're willing to experiment with kind of the raw materials and make the business case for promoting the raw materials into the data products. Treating the data scientists as data R&D experts and giving them the resources they need is critical. Resources also include the tools that they will use. While many users of a data mart or a data warehouse are going to use reporting tools and BI tools, data scientists are mostly not interested in those tools. Data scientists use the data in a very different way than business analysts. Business analysts are typically looking for the answer to a business question. The data scientists don't care about the answer to a business question. That's the easy part. The hard part is, what should the question be? How do I find the interesting questions in that data? That's the R&D part of data science. I don't actually want reporting tools and BI tools that give me the answer to a business question. I want more data visualization tools that allow me to see the patterns and relationships in the data, and the tools to easily do the transformation and feature engineering on that data that I can then use for my training sets to drive my data science and AI work. If you give these tools, if you give these partnerships with your business, as you give these resources to your data scientists, you're almost guaranteed to get higher value from those resources within your organization.